Hello and welcome. I am Madhuri and today we are going to talk about post-graduation exams. You have chosen to watch this video, so I am assuming that you are pretty clear about doing an MBA but want to understand more details about the CAT and GMAT and how to choose between the two. If that's not the case and you're still in the process of deciding whether to pursue Masters, MS or MBA, I would strongly recommend that you watch the previous two videos of this series wherein we have answered these questions. You can check them out by clicking here or on the links mentioned in the description box. Once you decide to do an MBA, the next logical question comes about competitive exams. I have taken both the exams, CAT and GMAT. So today, I'll dissect both the exams, share everything that you need to consider for making your choice, and by the end of this video, you will hopefully have the answer to what you should choose for yourself, CAT or GMAT. Let's get started. Both CAT and GMAT are competitive exams to seek admission into MBA. So let's do a point-by-point analysis to understand more details about these competitive exams. CAT is the common admission test which is taken for admission in MBA in India. It is conducted by the top 10 IIMs on a rotating basis. Where all is CAT accepted, which colleges and countries? Only in India. The top IIMs, even the other state level MBA colleges give CAT a preference. When it comes to the concepts tested in CAT, we first have quant, so you will see a lot of algebra, geometry, statistics, probability, those kind of concepts tested for mathematics. The next concept tested on CAT is verbal, wherein they are testing your proficiency in the English language. The next concept tested on the CAT exam is integrated reasoning. You will have to interpret information that is provided to you to arrive at the right answer. And there will be some logical reasoning as well. So together we have quant, verbal and integrated reasoning tested on the CAT. But what is the level of these questions that are tested on CAT? I would say they are really high, because even though you know these concepts that are going to be tested, there is no fixed set of specific concepts that are going to be tested for quant and verbal. And also there are no fixed type of questions that will be asked on the exam. So the structure of the entire exam is not very well defined when it comes to the types of questions. And because this level of difficulty is so high, people usually take 6 to 8 months to prepare for that exam. A lot of them also join coaching classes to get training to score a good number on the exam. Next aspect is the exam format. So the quant, verbal and IR, they are all together combined to give you multiple choice questions. So you will have multiple options for each question from which to choose. But the caveat here is that the list of questions will be fixed. The exam is non-adaptive and there is also negative marking for any question that you answer incorrectly. So the negative marking goes as 0.25 per wrong question that you answer. So if you answer 4 questions correctly and the 5th one is wrong, your cumulative score will actually only be 3.75. Having said that, let's understand when exactly the CAT is available for students to take. The date, time and day of the exam are fixed by the respective IIM that is conducting the exam for that year. So throughout the year, you can appear for CAT only once. And once you have appeared and gotten your score will be valid to apply for an MBA college only for the next 1 year. Whatever score you get on the CAT exam, it is automatically submitted to all the IIMs. And then comes the part of admission process. So if taken the exam, the score is automatically submitted to the IIM. If you qualify for the marks that they have set for that year, you get an interview call wherein there's a group discussion that happens with other qualifying students, and there is also a one-on-one interview that happens, post which the authorities make a decision about your admission. So that's the entire process of CAT, and let's understand what kind of an investment we are making for the CAT exam. So the exam fees is usually $30, which comes to INR 2000 at a conversion rate of 70 rupees per dollar. Most students also enroll for coaching classes to prepare for CAT, and the coaching fees usually comes to about $400 approximately, which comes close to $28,000. 28,000 INR. Anyways, moving on. So there is no fee to report your score to any of the IIMs that you want to apply for. And the CAT also doesn't provide an enhanced score report to analyze how you actually fared on the exam. So that's not applicable for CAT either. So overall, we are talking of an investment of $430, which is close to 30,000 rupees for the entire year. So that's all we need to know about CAT. For the same factors and points, let's do a point-by-point analysis for GMAT as well. So GMAT is a graduate management admissions test conducted by the Graduate Management Admissions Council to provide standardized score for all the students appearing for an MBA across the world. Among the colleges and countries accepting the GMAT score are some colleges in India such as XLRI, MDI Gurgaon, ISB, and even some executive courses for IIMs are accepting the GMAT score. And of course, beyond this, more than 110 countries across the world accept the GMAT score as a valid input for their MBA admissions. Coming on to the concepts that are tested on the GMAT, we first have Quant, wherein you will be again asked questions about algebra, geometry, statistics, probability, and all of that stuff. Next concept is verbal. You will be tested on reading comprehension. So you will be given either a paragraph or a set of paragraphs which you will have to read and then answer questions based on the information provided there. You will also have sentence correction to check your grammar and communication skills in English. And you will also have CR, which is critical reasoning, to critically analyze the arguments that are given. And finally, you will also have integrated reasoning, which will be again a combination of your quant and verbal plus some logical reasoning put together. In addition to this, GMAT also has another section which is called AWA, wherein you are given an argument and you have to actually write down a critical analysis of that argument in 400 to 500 words. So that's about the concepts that are tested on the GMAT. Coming on to the level of difficulty, again GMAT is a very highly difficult exam, but the good part here is that we already know what concepts are going to be tested. So the syllabus is completely fixed for GMAT and the types of questions are also fixed for the GMAT exam. So in terms of preparation, it's actually easier to prepare, and any average student giving in 3 to 4 months of time to prepare for the GMAT will be able to fare well on the exam. Coming on to the exam format, it will again be multiple choice questions, wherein you will be given 5 options for each question, only one of which will be correct. And the GMAT exam is adaptive, which means if you answer a question correctly, the next question that the GMAT will give you will be of a higher difficulty level than the previous question. So when can you appear for the GMAT? All you need to do is go on to the Pearson VUE website and choose your preferred day, date and slot. So you can appear for the GMAT all through the year, and your score will be valid for 5 years. For the GMAT, along with your exam score, you will have to provide a full-fledged application including answers to essays that the college might post and letters of recommendation from your professors or your previous bosses. Once they've shortlisted your profile, they'll give you an interview call, and that's how the admission process for GMAT will work. Coming on to the factor of investment, the GMAT exam fee costs about $250, which is approximately 17,500 rupees at a conversion rate of 70 rupees per dollar. Most people do not take coaching for GMAT, but even if they do, the average coaching fee ranges from $199 to $299 at an average of again 17,500 rupees. Next, the GMAT score is automatically reported to at least 5 colleges for free. You can input these colleges when you are giving the GMAT exam. Beyond that, it will cost you $35 per college that you want to report the exam score to. In addition, the GMAT Council also provides an enhanced score report for you to have a deep dive into how you fared at the exam, and in case you want to retake it, you will know exactly what concepts you need to work upon. So together we are talking about an investment of approximately $800, but given that the score is valid for 5 years, it comes to about $40 per year. Having understood all the factors for CAT and GMAT, let's now do a point-by-point comparison to see which one comes out better. Talking about where the score is accepted, CAT is accepted in India, whereas GMAT is accepted in a few colleges in India as well as abroad. So GMAT turns out better. But whether to take CAT or GMAT will depend a lot on your choice of university and the specialization that you want to do your MBA in. It will also depend on your location preference for settling down post your MBA, and employability factor as well, as in which country you want to work in, which company you want to work for, and where the company is situated. But because GMAT provides that global opportunity, it turns out better. Coming on to the concepts tested, the CAT quant is more difficult than GMAT, whereas for GMAT, verbal section is more difficult than CAT. So it will mostly just depend on your strength, and for that reason, we'll skip this out in terms of comparison, because for everyone, their area of strength will differ. Next up, even though both the exams have a high level of difficulty, GMAT provides a structure because of the fixed syllabus and question types. For GMAT, you know exactly what to expect in the exam, and walking into the exam hall, you are more confident there because you know you have prepared and covered every avenue possible. So that way, GMAT turns out better. A defined structure combined with a shorter time for preparation gives GMAT yet another edge, because then it becomes easier to prepare for this exam. Coming on to the actual exam, even though both the exams give you multiple choice questions, CAT is a game of accuracy because it is non-adaptive. The list of questions is fixed for all the students, plus there is negative marking. Whereas the adaptive nature of GMAT gives you a chance to prove your ability and increase your score. So it's really just ability versus accuracy, and I feel ability would be better preferred, because even though you are able, you might not be accurate all the time. So ability comes out on the top and GMAT wins there as well. Talking about when you can appear for the exam, GMAT gives you that flexibility of appearing for the exam on your choice of date and time. So even if something goes wrong, let's say on the day of the exam, or if you feel that you are not prepared and you want more time to study for the exam, GMAT gives you the option of rescheduling your exam as well. Whereas for CAT, if something goes wrong on the day of the exam, or you are not fully prepared by the exam date, you will have to wait yet another year to appear for it. So hands down, GMAT wins there. For whatsoever reason, if you decide to not apply for an MBA right after you give an exam, GMAT gives you that flexibility to use the score for 5 more years. So again, GMAT wins. The next factor is really important with regards to admission process. CAT has a reservation quota, which means for you to get that interview call, the qualifying marks will differ based on the caste that you belong to. I've seen people with even a 99.99 percentile in CAT not getting an interview call from any of the top IIMs, which I feel is not fair, because for you to get into an MBA course, the decision should not be based on the caste that you belong to, but only your ability. So in this case, GMAT provides you that opportunity to realize your MBA dream purely based on whether you qualify for that course. So even though the GMAT admission process is a bit elongated as compared to CAT, overall it comes out better.
When we talk about return on investment, the post-MBA salary for people who do an MBA via the CAT route and the ones who do via the GMAT route comes out to be $43,000 versus $150,000. So there's no need for me to say anything over there. You already know which one is better. In addition, the colleges that accept GMAT also provide scholarships, either full or partial, based on merit, financial background and other such criteria. The colleges that accept CAT provide scholarships in the form that they expect that money to be paid back to them. Aside from the monetary factors, there are other important investments also that you need to make, which is in yourself. So if you go for colleges that accept the GMAT, which is colleges outside of your country of residence, you get global exposure and you get to experience the cutthroat competition outside of your country of residence. So overall, in terms of return on investment, GMAT comes out better. In the game of CAT versus GMAT, GMAT comes out as a winner way ahead of the game. Nonetheless, whichever exam you choose for yourself, remember to follow your dream and do what is best for you. If you feel that there are more factors that need to be considered and I happen to miss them in my video, please mention them in the comments section for the benefit of other aspirants. If this video helped you in making your decision about CAT and GMAT, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section because I would love to hear them. Don't forget to click on the like button, share this with others and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for the upcoming videos wherein we'll talk about how to prepare for these exams, especially during your undergraduation or while working a full-time job. You can click on the bell icon right next to the subscribe button to get a notification when the video is published. You can connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. I've mentioned the links in the description box. I'm Madhuri, wishing you all the very best for your MBA journey. Thank you for watching.